Psy is a hit when it comes to his music, but is he a failure as a leader? Psy's agency, PNATION, is currently going through a crisis with its top artists like Jessi, HyunA, and Dawn quitting the company. What's happening in PNATION? Is there any hope of resurrection? Let's find out. The Gangnam-style hitman, Psy, recently made news for more negative things than positive. The only positive news was his single, That, becoming a hit. But of course, half the credit for this hit song goes to BTS Suga for collaborating with Psy. At a time when Jessi, HyunA, and Dawn were struggling to find an agency that would match their interests, Psy came as their savior and presented the three top artists with a platform they had dreamt of. So, what went wrong within the 3 years that he represented them? Psy quit YG Entertainment to realize his longtime dream of creating an agency. This is when PNATION took shape in 2018. He actually joined YG Entertainment in 2000 on his wife's advice, as the singer was facing financial problems and couldn't produce his own music. After joining YG Entertainment, Psy recorded his world-famous hit songs, Gangnam Style,
오빤 Gangnam Style,
Gentleman,
Motherfucker Gentleman,
Hangover, and more. Before speaking about PNATION, do you know how Psy got his name? Originally named Park Chae-sang, he used PS from his real name and added a Y to make the stage name Psy. And this is derived from the word psycho. Psy himself gave an explanation about his name in a BBC interview and said,
What I thought was, crazy about music, dancing, performance, so that kind of psycho.
After forming PNATION in 2018, the first thing Psy did was sign rapper Jessi in January 2019. It was said that Jessi was searching for an agency that would give her creative freedom. Psy promised her independence in terms of creativity, and Jessi signed a 3-year contract with PNATION. This was the time HyunA and Dawn had to leave Cube Entertainment as they had revealed their relationship status despite a strict ban from their agency. Psy welcomed the couple and ensured them the freedom to experiment with music and to continue promoting as a couple. Both HyunA and Dawn also joined PNATION in January 2019. Psy signed Crush in July 2019, and Hazel also came on board in September 2019. PNATION had artists with a strong foothold in the K-pop industry, but somehow, except for Jessi, the journey was not so fruitful for other artists. If you look at records, Jessi's first album, Who Dat Be, failed to create a sensation. But the rappers soon found success with Nunu Nana. What type of X? And Zoom. However, there was a problem with some interviews Jessi was doing. She had said that Psy was trying to control her. There was a lot of interference in the creative process, and he also started advising her not to wear revealing clothes. This interference in the making of music led to repeated arguments between Psy and Jessi. In one of the interviews, Psy also agreed that both singers had constant arguments. Jessi was stressed about the arguments, and her social media post as soon as she quit PNATION read, "I understand people can make assumptions right now based on my current situation, but the truth shall reveal itself in a matter of time." But the truth has not revealed itself so far, and fans are still waiting to find out why Jessi left PNATION, despite the success. Speaking about HyunA and Dawn, it is true that PNATION allowed both artists to experiment with music, whereas HyunA's single, I'm Not Cool, led music charts and became viral on her social media. Her other projects, including her recent single, Nabilera, failed to impress fans. Her collaboration with Dawn, titled 1+1=1, was not a hit either. Dawn's extended play, Dawn Diri Dawn, released in 2020, also did not win accolades. While both HyunA and Dawn seemed to have found the perfect shelter in the form of PNATION, their music created under the agency failed to win the needed attention. So, in 2022, following the expiration of their contracts, artists Jessi, HyunA, and Dawn decided not to renew their contract with PNATION. PNATION is now left with Crush and Hazel as their main artists. Meanwhile, Psy also tried to make business by collaborating with JYP Entertainment. Both struck a deal with SBS and plunged into the field of idol production. Accordingly, PNATION and JYP agreed to form 2 boy groups through a survival program and titled it Loud. But the program did not make any loud noise. The ambitious program that started with 9% popularity ended with a mere 2.7% viewership. As a result of the program, PNATION selected 6 members to form the boy group TNX. The group debuted in March 2022 with their single, Way Up. JYP Entertainment selected 5 candidates, and the group is known as JYP Loud, as it is yet to be christened. This group is expected to debut in 2023. However, even this could not bring much needed success to PNATION, as TNX's debut single did not make much noise. Latest reports state that with Jessi, HyunA and Dawn's departure, PSY is likely to concentrate on TNX to make sure both the group and the agency taste success again. There are also rumors that PSY let Jessi, HyunA and Dawn go so that he could focus on the boy group. Another controversy broke out earlier this year where PSY had organized a show titled Summer Swag 2022, scheduled from July 9th to August 20th in 7 South Korean cities, including Incheon, Seoul, Suwon, Gangneung, Yeosu, Daegu, and Busan. The show was cancelled in Chungcheongdo. The concept came under fire as at that time Korea was facing drought issues. Still, PSY went ahead with the show where at least 300 tons of drinkable water were used to soak fans during the show. Despite repeated warnings of possible health-related issues in the midst of COVID-19, PSY went ahead with the concept. Reportedly, a large number of people who attended PSY's concert allegedly claimed to have contracted COVID-19 following the water show. As a result, PNATION is under scrutiny for violating the Serious Disaster Punishment Act. After the performance, Yeosu City claimed that the Jinnan Stadium where the event took place on August 6th was completely damaged. The administration demanded that PSY should take responsibility and repair the stadium. But PNATION is facing an even more severe problem. On July 31st, a Mongolian-based man in his 20s, working as a construction person at the Gangneung Stadium in Gangwon, where PSY had performed as part of his summer swag tour the day before, died while dismantling the stage. The man, appointed under an outsourcing agency, fell from at least 49 feet while removing a lighting tower. He passed away shortly after being rushed to the local hospital. While expressing condolences, PNATION stated, "We'll do our best to establish measures to prevent another accident such as this from occurring with a sense of responsibility." Following this incident, the Ministry of Employment and Labor raided PNATION's Seoul office and Gangnam building on August 25th, citing a violation of the Industrial Safety and Health Act. The investigation is aiming at finding out the contractual relationship between PNATION, the agency that organized the performance, and the company that installed the stage at the time of the incident. However, reports claimed that even though PSY is the founder of PNATION, he does not have complete control over the company. It is said that PSY has 60% control over the company, but 40% is owned by his partner, HyunA. So speculations are that PSY may not face any legal punishment even if the charges are proven. With all this said, Jessi's revelations might shed some light on the real reason why artists are leaving PNATION, and only time can tell if TNX brings PNATION back into the positive spotlight. What do you think? Is PNATION's downfall imminent? Or will PSY's agency rise like a phoenix?